Lori's Little Bit of Craftin. I am coming to you. It was 11:59 just a second ago on Monday, December 29th. And I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, coming to you from Wisconsin. So let's just see if I have some sound. We will try to get my devices up here. And I have sound. Yay. It's been iffy the last few days. So I have gotten into the habit of restarting my phone right away before I go live. So welcome. When you join me, go ahead and let me know where you're joining from. I think I need to move this just a little this way. I seem a little crooked. And we will get going in just a second here. Let me get my little welcome message up here. And we'll get down to business. All right. Let's get a little bit of lotion on my hands to start with. And we'll do a few announcements and then we'll get busy. Alrighty, where did they go? Here we go. All right. We are coming to a close for the first month of Product of the Month. December kicked off Product of the Month for Stampin' Up! And with a $75 purchase, your qualifying order, and that's before tax or shipping, you have the option of adding on the Product of the Month for just $5. This paper has been so fun to work with, but I'm ready to see what the January Product of the Month is going to be. We have not been given any clues yet, so I'm anxious to see. Maybe tomorrow when we get our weekly updates. Demonstrators get weekly updates generally every Tuesday. So we'll see if there's anything there, but I think this is still available. I haven't seen any messages that it was gone. So if there are any left, this is 12 by 12 designer series paper. It's a full pack for just $5. If there's any left, it will carry over until it's gone. But once it's gone, they will not offer it anymore. It will always be at that $5 price, but you do have to have separate $75 orders, that's a US dollar, to get the product. You're limited to one. So you can get one December product, you can get one January product, but if you want to get them both in January, you have to do separate orders because the system can't differentiate more than one product of the month. Hope that makes sense. Next, if you're a demonstrator, or if you're not and you really are interested in it, now would be a good time to join. We have our conference coming up at the end of March. We have to register by January 16th. The U.S. conference or convention on stage is what we call it. Will be in Long Beach, California. I will be there. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Have all our plans made. I guess the only thing I have to do is worry about my rental car. But anyway, I'm good to go. I'm ready. Another upcoming event is this virtual card retreat. This is going to be very similar to the virtual album retreat, which was done earlier this year, which was 3 8-hour days of basically masterclass led by Stampin' Up! Folks. This is going to be the same sort of thing. It's covering 2 days from 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. Utah time, Stampin' Up! Time, Utah, so Mountain Time. So for me, it'll run from 3 p.m. until 10 p.m. I'm Central Time. If you are planning on purchasing this kit and if you are local to me or this retreat, if you are local to me, I am planning on having a watch party for anybody who purchases it. But you need to let me know that you purchased your kit your retreat, because there are things that are exclusive to the kit. It's not, there's laser cut pieces and stamp set and a preview item that's coming out in a future release. And I won't have enough in my retreat materials to share, especially those laser cut pieces, because we use them all. We'll be doing 15 higher level cards. So if you think, oh my goodness, I haven't been stamping that long, I'm not that good at it, you can still get this. You can learn lots of things. Like I said, it's basically a master class. And it's not all going to be one presenter. There will be multiple presenters. And you can follow along. It will be on Facebook Live. Stampin' Up! Will download all of those videos and then upload them again so that they're not live videos, so that they won't go away with whatever Facebook rules they have right now for live videos. But this, I'm really looking forward to it. They have shown us sneak peeks of all the cards. We have the additional supply list. I already have my retreat materials. I did show them a while back, so if you want to see those, either find that video or send me a message and I'll let you know when that video ran. Okay. We also have a new catalog coming out in about a week. January 6th, I can show you the inside of this catalog. Until that time, I can only show you the products that I've gotten and things that I make with those products. All right. So January 6th is when I can show the inside, and we'll kind of go through the catalog. I enjoy flipping through the catalog and seeing what things maybe I missed or didn't order yet, because I can't order the whole thing. But there's a lot of fun stuff in here. And then we also have online exclusives that we'll be releasing there as well. So one other thing I forgot to mention, and I should probably print that off. Where did I put it? I am running a special today and tomorrow. So on the 30th and the 31st, I am offering double Stampin' Rewards basically for you. So if you place an order through me and you earn Stampin' Rewards, which means it has to be a purchase of at least $20, make sure you opt in for Stampin' Rewards. But whatever you earn for Stampin' Rewards, I will match that. And I will gift you Stampin' Rewards up to $30. That's a pretty good deal. So the 30th, the 31st, up to $30, I will double your rewards. So shop with me at latenightLori.stampinup.net. All right. Hello, Juju. All right. Announcements are done. Let me go get my little flyer thing quick. And we'll just trim that down. How was your day, Juju? I did not have an opportunity to watch your live today. I will try to catch a little bit of your replay. But we are going to play with our little woolly friends. And there's a punch, and here's a stamp set. Oh, Riley played. And it's frigid cold out here, right? So I went outside a couple of times to, check on my chickens and, how warm their coop was and that. She got all bundled up and she came outside and she played out in the freezing cold weather. Crazy how children can do that. I know I used to do it. I don't anymore, but she had a blast. And what else did we do? She smoked me at Yahtzee today. We watched some programs on the Angel Network. What else did we do? Oh, we made waffles for dinner. Hello, Nicole. Welcome. Yeah, so it was a busy day, and now I don't have anything prepped. So we're gonna wing it. We're gonna wing it. But I brought out some Stampin' Blends because we will need those. I brought some wobbles because I think it'll be fun to do some wobbles, and I've got the punch. So let's open this up and just see what we need to do. How was your day, Nicole? Your Monday and Tuesday? Because it's, let's see, you're 14 hours, so it's like 2 in the afternoon, right? Is my math right? No. 2, yeah. 2 in the afternoon, is that right? On Tuesday for you? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp these on my copier paper. I'm gonna clean them first, because I have not played with these yet. Can you believe it? They're so cute. I haven't played with them yet, but we'll be here, Juju. I haven't played with them yet, but we're just gonna get them stamped out here. We've got our granddaughter here, Nicole, so it was a busy day. Oh, a little warm for you, huh? Oh, how far is the walk? Oh no, it was closed. Oh dear. That's disappointing. We are super, super cold here. Below freezing. Very windy, like 45 to 50 mile an hour gusts. And snow flurries. Oh, I did that again. I did that yesterday too. Snow flurries. I'll just have to flip that over. Not a lot of accumulation, but some drifting. 15 minutes there, then, oh, half an hour of walking in the hot. And I forgot, is it humid by you or not? See, where I am in Wisconsin during the summer months for us, that's going to have to be good enough. The summer months for us, when we get humid, it's miserable. Absolutely miserable. I'm gonna, how do I want to put this one? I guess we'll go this way. I think more of the things are right side up this way. And this is not meant to be super pretty. It's just supposed to be giving me an idea of where my stamps need to go back. All right. Oh, I love the water. Luckily, my neighbor has a fountain in their yard, so I can hear water. Yeah. Even though our county, I don't know if you've ever looked it up, but our county is bordered by Lake Michigan, one of the Great Lakes. I'm far to the west of Lake Michigan, so I don't get to see it every day. I used to work downtown. Welcome back, Juju. I used to work downtown, so, you know, I was basically a block off the lake, so I could walk on my lunch and go enjoy the lake. And it looks like the ocean. Hello, Robert. Yeah, no cakewalk, right? All right, so this, always when you get these, there's plastic on both sides. And I call that a carrier sheet. Make sure that if you take one off, you put it back on before you put that onto paper, because your stamps will stick to paper. It will stick to this. These are not glossy plastic, they're just paper. All right, so remember that. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of seal on there. And then this will be all prepped. So we're gonna play with Woolly Friends, and I am just going to case a sample because I was busy with granddaughter today. Yeah, I don't think I want to live in Canada. It gets super, super cold there, from what I hear. All right, so we have some color choices tonight. I brought out all of these colors. And the ones in the sample, actually, I probably should go get Daffodil Delight because this and Balmy Blue, and I think Daffodil Delight. Let me go get that quick. All right, so Daffodil Delight. So these three colors are for one of the samples. And I'm just going to set that over here. I like those, but I also like some brighter colors, like Lemon Lime Twist, Azure Afternoon. I don't know, maybe Balmy Blue. We can decide. Anybody have some ideas of what color we want, like our card base? And then I think we're going to use this mixed up patterns. I think this is active paper. I think it was on my pre-order. I just need to look it up quick. Oh, and then my granddaughter too. We did get in the craft room for a little bit because she needed to make a birthday card for her stepbrother. Okay, so this is a pre-order. I didn't open this before. So Nicole, you were going to work on your niece's 5th birthday present. Oh. You needed color copies. You're a painter, huh? I don't know that I remembered that. All right, let's slice this open and see how these look. Because I kind of think this with the little woolly sheep might be fun, and we could even color some of those flowers on there maybe. Oh, that sounds adorable. When is her birthday? When do you need it by? Are you gonna have time to do it tomorrow? Is the library open then tomorrow? Do you know? Did they have a sign up why they were closed? Little fairy lights in there would be awesome, right? All right, so this again is the mixed up patterns. So let's take a look at this. We've got, ooh, flowers and bright stripes. These are like scribble swirls. That looks like strawberry slush to me. And that looks like Secret Sea. That's like a herringbone pattern, I think. Well, hopefully, since you don't need it till Friday, you'll have time to get to the library again. All right, so we've got, that's like a brushed, maybe a wood, a whitewash wood, and then these are just kind of squiggles. Maybe if I zoom this in a little bit, you can see the patterns a little bit better. Maybe. This one makes me a little dizzy because the zigzags, I can't tell if they're all even. You know those optical illusion things? That's what it looks like to me. I can't tell if those are all even lines or not. So that's... They're probably all about the same. That's weird. It looks like they're different lengths. Some of those do seem a little shorter. I don't know. Whew. That one makes me a little dizzy. And then we've just got some, this looks like old olive. Looks like I might be getting some different colors. And then this just has some polka dots, like in a grid on there. And then this is like little scallops in green and old olive. And then this is a pink, like a diamond pattern on there. A yellow like starburst pattern. And these blue. Oh, this might be on the sample. So, all right, so those are our papers that we can use for like background. Let's see, oh, bubble bath and old olive. There are a few other colors there, so maybe I should go grab these other colors. Or do you like any of these? Let me go grab these other colors and we'll just see. Maybe we'll do it just like the sample. All right, so I need bubble bath, old olive, strawberry slush, and I think Secret Sea. All right. So these are some fun colors too. I do not use sharp markers or Sharpie markers. I use the Stampin' Up! Alcohol blends because I sell Stampin' Up! Products. So that's what I use. So here are some of the other colors that is in the palette of those designer series paper. So I brought all the cardstock over, so hopefully we'll have all the things we need. So let's first play with our little woolly guy here and get some things on some blocks. So one thing I want to do is get a template made of my block. And I need a piece of basic white. So what I like to do is we'll just do this. Brand new. I like to make a template. All right, and I could use all of these little pieces. There was one that went flying. I don't know where it went. All right, and then what I will do is I will put the little pieces inside here, and I want the stamping side down. So I want the flat side up by me. And we'll line these up. I'm going to have to put that on solid paper because I can't see. All right, so we'll put that in there. And this looks like that might be that little bell. A little sheep bell, I guess. I would have thought a cowbell. Whoops. All right, and then we will get our little woolly guy. Oh, I should probably zoom back out a little bit for everybody, hey? All right, is that better? I don't think I missed any comments, but this one will go here. And then if I can get it to not stick to my fingers. And then there's a bow. I don't know that it matters which bow it is. We'll see if this one works. Oh, there's a cute little butterfly on here too. I didn't see that before. So there's grass, there's a butterfly. These sentiments are cute too. You make me happy. You're simply fabulous. I love it. All right, and then this one looks like it will go here. All right, so there's my template. So I punched out my pieces, and then I'm just going to put my block on here. All right, and then when we go to stamp it on our real piece, hopefully it'll work out. So I am going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, because if I'm using alcohol blends, I want a water-based ink. So I don't want to use like StazOn, because that's alcohol. It's a solvent. It needs a solvent to dissolve or to bleed. And the alcohol blends are more alcohol, so that would be a solvent. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that clearly enough. And let's go like this. And we'll see how good my lineup was. I'm getting ink on my fingers again. We'll see how good this was. All right. And let me cover that up so I don't make more of an inky mess than I already did. So we need our punch. And now you can see when I put this in here, it's pretty much, there we go, pretty much lined up. So when I get it lined up, I will squeeze it just a little bit so the paper doesn't fall out, just to make sure that I've got it where I want it. And if I need to move it a little bit, then I release just a little bit so that I can shift the paper. But otherwise, there we go. And look, there's our little sheepies. Isn't that cute? So that's how I do my punches. We could do the bell, or we could do a bow. Isn't that cute? All right. So that's how I make my templates, so that I can put all of my pieces on a block at once instead of trying to line up like this piece and get it in there. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's just more efficient for me. So I'm going to cut a couple of these. Oh, that one got kind of messy. We'll see how it looks. And then I just want to make sure that I'm doing it the same direction as my block. There. So make sure that when you're putting it on your paper, you want the edge of the paper to where it's going to go in there, and you want to just make sure that it's not upside down, because then you're not going to be able to get it in your punch. I don't usually save my template. Don't ask me why. It depends on how much I think I'm going to stamp with it. Because to me, it's just that one, it's just this. I could recreate that pretty easy. And I don't have, because I don't have like a pouch for this. But with these bigger pockets, I could easily put that template right in here and save it. So then I don't have to do it again. All right. And when I do my punches too, usually I don't hold it up in the air because it's hard on my hands. I'm going to shift that just a little bit for the bow. Usually what I'll do is push down on it, because then I can use my whole arm. All right, so we have two little sheepers here. And then we have the cutouts from our template. Now, I could save those because I can probably stamp on them and get them, because these are photopolymer stamps, so they're easy to do that. That's one of my template pieces. There should be a fourth piece. Here's one. That one's stamped on. All right, so we got a couple of bells, we got a couple of bows. All right, I think that's good to start with. And I need one more. If I'm gonna copy the template or the sample from Stampin' Up, I've got one more. Now, the one thing with doing a template and putting them all on here is if you don't want to stamp all the pieces, let's say you don't want, you know, this, maybe you want this shape. Obviously, the punch doesn't do you any good, you know, so you can't really use it with the template, except that you could mask, because this looks like it's exactly the same. So you could mask the body and stamp the feet on, I suppose. Or freeform draw if you're good at drawing. I don't know. I'm not careful that way. Whoops, almost did it upside down. Now when there was a ladybug punch we had, I used that one quite a bit. There was a bird, like a little bluebird punch we had. I saved those templates because I was making a lot of cards with those. So I hung on to those. Oops. And I never go like this to punch. All right. This is kind of the way they're designed so that you can see where your paper is going in. Now, if you're just punching a shape, it doesn't really much matter. But when you're punching an image, it matters. All right. So we have 3 little sheep here. 3 little bows. That's that template there. Where is the green sheep? I've never heard of it. Huh. I'll have to look that one up. I've never heard of that one. All right, so here we've got our 3 little sheep. They're adorable. Let's move these over. All right, I'm gonna get my punch out of the way. And we're gonna do a little bit of coloring. I'm gonna Google that right now. Where is the green sheep? Huh. What ages is that for? It doesn't look like it says. Oh, ages 1 to 4. But that might be a good one. I've got 3 nieces and nephews that are young. That might be a fun book. I'll have to check it out. All right. So if let me get a thick basic white piece. Oh, I know why these were so hard to, this was thick. That's why it was harder for me to punch. Whew. Silly me. All right, we're gonna make our base. And we're gonna score first at our 4 1/4. And we'll cut once at 5 1/2. And we'll go ahead and burnish this. So I'm just thinking, kind of like that one. That one's kind of cute. Where the legs are just all crazy, like, ah, look at me. We're gonna stamp that one just for kicks and see. Just for kicks, get it? All right, let's wash this one off too. So Nicole, that book comes in a board book, which to me sounds like it's a cardboard one. And then that one's not very expensive. And then there's another one that says it's hardcover that's almost 3 times the price. That's kind of weird. All right. Now this one, if we, let me think. Because we're not going to be able to punch this one out, but we could just stamp these feet. Let me get another piece of white. I need to get my regular white. I'm waiting for an avalanche to happen because I got a whole stack of new stuff that we've been delving into. That's, oh, making the whole body out of that. Oh, that would be fun. Our little sheep would have clothes on. All right. So we're going to do, let's see. If our sheep goes about like so, 3 inches, 2.5. It's probably, no, we'll go 3. We can always trim it down. We're going to go 3 inches here. So let's just stamp. Oh, I know. We can stamp this one. You're way ahead of me, Nicole. Robert, I am not sure what you're talking about, but I'm going to probably put you in timeout. Right, let's just cut a little piece of this. And we'll make that our kicking one, I think. Hardcover pages for the bigger littles who can hold the book. Yeah. Same story in both. Okay. I like to get the hardcover ones for the little ones just because they're usually so rough on them. All right. So I just want the body. I think I should have tried to mask. I'm going to do this again. We're going to go like this. We are going to wipe off the feet. And I'm going to try to cover those up. Let's get some of this Post-it tape. And see if we can cover up the little legs here. That may or may not work. I'm not sure. Oh, I probably could have. I was thinking I probably could have used part of the punch out, but the punch out has that border. So it probably wouldn't work anyway. Let's just see how this looks. All right, now if we take these off, where can I put this little mess? All right, and then I'm going to take my little marker. I know you can't get these markers anymore, but I'm not getting rid of the ones that I have. So we're just going to color that a little bit. And then I'm going to try to take that off. And then I actually did just a little breathiness on my stamp to moisten up that ink again. So let's see if I can line this up anywhere. It's probably upside down. Because that's just my style, is being upside down. So if I can't quite get it lined up, we will use a Post-it note and see. So that looks like that's the top. So let's see if we can get this in here. Oops. Oh, for goodness sakes. All right, so use stock grids to watch sheep feet. I don't know what stock grids are. Like, is that for real? That must be for real sheep. I don't have real sheep. I don't have chickens. All right, let's try to get this in here, Lori. All right, so we're going to make our little woolly girl wild. I think this is the one we can put on the wobble too. All right, and then I'm going to fussy cut around that part because I want her wild legs on there. Awesome. And what this is, what the design is we can use, where'd my stamp set go? Here. We can use this solid one to put color in our sheep if we want. That's how the sample is. So that's why we need to figure out what colors we want. If I do it just like the sample, this will take the place of the blue one. But now I also need to cut this out so that I've got the feet. So let's fussy cut that and get it done with. And I wouldn't even probably have to fussy cut the whole thing. I could probably just fussy cut off the half part where the feet are, but I already started, so we'll just go with it. It'll give this little woolly gal an added boost. See, you notice I stop talking when I start fussy cutting because I need to concentrate. Oh! I asked my granddaughter if she wanted to use this stamp set today, and she looked at it, and you could tell she was thinking maybe she did, but then she's like, no. Do you have a kit? So she's sometimes a kit girl, and she made a really cute card. Let me go get it quick. This is from a paper pumpkin kit from 2019. So she put all the little hats on. Those were die cuts out of the kit. The stamps were all from there. The card bases from there. And then there was the insert. So she had to do 10 candles for his card. And then we didn't have enough hats, so we cut one hat in half so he could have 10 hats. So there's 6 on the front, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's her birthday card she made for her stepbrother. I thought it was fun. Very fun. All right, let's get some of this debris out of the way because it's getting a little crazy here. We'll hang on to that. And let's see if, well, let's just finish working this a little bit. So the way the sample is, yeah, she had fun making it. She does really, really good with kits, or if she's watching a sample. Like I'll get card kits ready if I'm having a class. So I'll have a sample and then I'll have envelopes that have all the parts and pieces in it. And then I'll have the stamps on the blocks and everything. So she'll go through and she'll say, oh, I want to do this card. And she'll pick out, you know, like a kit that I've created for a class. And she'll sit there and she'll study the original and then she'll recreate it on hers. And sometimes she is just super focused. And then other times it's just like wild art. And I just let her be. I just let her be. All right, so what colors are we going to use? We need to use, what color we got here? Balmy blue for sure, because that's the color of this. So we need 2 other colors. And the sample uses, I think, Garden Green and Daffodil Delight. So those 3 colors. So this is a kind of a fun little wild card here. I just moved my light. I hope that didn't ruin anything for anybody. All right. So let me put these papers back in for right now. I really almost wish I had started playing with this set a little sooner because there's a lot of fun ideas here. Oh, but we do need another little piece too to kind of layer. It depends on what colors we use. I guess we'll kind of wait on that, although this would be cute. I need something that will go with that floral with our little sheep. That would go with the floral. There was, oh, these yellow stripes would probably go. That might work as a backdrop piece. We might, let me just keep this piece out. We might use that. All right, so I need this piece and this piece. We're gonna stamp on here. And where did I need this one. I don't remember if I washed that. But we're going to do that in all the different colors. And I haven't seen any comments come up with color choices. So there's a little air bubble under here. I'm going to try to get rid of it. There we go. Sometimes those air bubbles affect how good of an image I get. And we're actually going to stamp on, oh no, we're stamping on the card base. I'm all right. I'm just a little distracted, I guess. So we are going to do some random colors on here. So let's start with the Daffodil Delight. And I need a little protector piece too, because I don't want to get it all over my Pearson mat. So we're going to just start adding some random, oh, I got ink on that, so I guess I'll do one there. Oh, and that didn't go all the way through, but that's all right. Some of the ones on the sample didn't either. All right, that's probably because I have the fold up there. So I think we're good with that maybe. Oh, maybe one more. Oh, that's probably going to be covered. We'll see. All right, let's wash this off. Let's go to the Granny Apple Green. Is that a wave goodbye, Robert? I'm not sure what that means. Shaun the Sheep animations, huh? I'm just looking at some of these old or previous comments here. I missed them. I was fussy cutting. That's a nice bright green. Oh, and again, I didn't get, oh, that's going to get, part of that's going to get covered up anyway. I'm not going to worry about that one because this piece is going to go across here some. So I really only need a couple of little bits here. I'm not sure why I'm not getting better images. I think I'm just probably trying to do it too quickly. Because I usually don't press super hard. I just try to hold it in place. So let's get our balmy blue. And I think that'll be the last one. And we will move on. And I see my picture is elongated again, but I have my power cord plugged in because my phone was less than half power, so I figured, oh, I better. Let's see how this is stamping. Oh, I guess that's dark enough. I think my balmy blue needs to be re-inked. There. All right. I think I'm happy enough with that. Wash that off. All right. And then let's get this out of the way. We're going to do some little grass. All right, and that I think we'll do on here in the granny apple green. And we're going to put that right along the bottom. And that's the nice thing about these photopolymer stamps too, because you can usually get them lined up pretty good without too much overlap or gap. Because you can see through the stamps. There we go. All right, now for our little sheeps here. We've got this one for this gal, and we just need to line her up. There we go, like so. And I'm gonna put, I think I'm gonna put her on dimensionals, but we're gonna ink this with the balmy blue anyway. All right, and we need, I don't know that this matches up any certain way. I should have probably looked at that first. Here we go. There is a wide one here and the quadruple one there. So that's how you can kind of line it up. Beautiful. All right. So we need a blue one. We need a green girl. Where did my wide one go? There we go. Hopefully I'm far enough up so everybody can see. fun. And then we need the Daffodil Delight. Here we go. That lines up really nicely. Sometimes they seem like they're a little off so that they look a little bit more abstract, but those are lining up splendidly. Alright, so this one, I think I can probably get this out of the way for now. This one we're going to put on, oh, I guess I should take my Post-it note off of there. We're going to put this one on dimensionals. Use a stamped sheet without the legs for clouds, cotton balls, fairy floss. What's fairy floss? But those would definitely be good ideas, the clouds. And I'm not sure if maybe that's kind of the look that Stampin' Up! Was going for here. But I think if I used like cloud cover and stamped off a time or two, that would look more like clouds. And then you could always mask some of that too. All right. So let's find our wide piece here. Looks like it goes like so. All right, so she's just got a little depth to her, and we're going to get a little there are flowers with this, but there's no trees and shrubs. And I wanted to see where my sheep were going to line up before we put the flowers on here, just because, and this we can use for a tree. Is that what you mean? Trees and shrubs? I think that'll work. We can make that into a tree, but I'm not sure what, excuse me, I'm not sure what I would use for a tree trunk, except that if the sheep is in front of there, it wouldn't matter. She's going to be our wild one. The one that's going to go boing. And I don't know that it matters what side we put where. It might, but I've never noticed there to be much of a difference with these wobbles. And they don't give you any direction either as to how they're supposed to be used. You just have to know how to do it. All right. So what I had thought too before I was looking at the samples was taking some of the designer series paper and tearing it to make landscape in the back. All right. So that's an idea too. Let's get rid of this stuff. But there's some cute little tulips here too. So there's a trio of tulips. And then there's some color for inside. We may have to do that for tomorrow. Get a little bit more creative. So we could have some flowers. We could probably actually put flowers all the way across there, hey? Do you think? Since the sheep are going to be on top of it anyway. We could plant flowers. Well, maybe just 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think? And I'm going to use the garden green And that's just going to give me outlines, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and then the flowers. I'm thinking strawberry slush. What do you think? Since we're deviating from the sample, we can do whatever color we want, right? And maybe even stamp that off and it'll be lighter. Now I could also be real tedious about this and mask some of those off, but I think not today. That one got a little wonky, but that's all right. Maybe I could. There, that's better. All right, and then is there a leaf? There are leaves. I don't even have to color the leaves. I was thinking we'd have to use our alcohol blends for that. But we're gonna, I think, stamp off with these. Let's see how this looks. I've got a lot of stuff going on here, huh? I think stamped off. What do you think? Full strength or stamped off? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Maybe we'll do these full strength and these stamped off. Both. Okay. Full strength. Because I figured I did these flowers full strength, those stamped off, so I'll do these full strength and those stamped off. But I kind of missed the tips there. It's sometimes a little challenging because I can't get my head over the top. There we go. That's good. And then we could maybe blending brush a little balmy blue in there, do you think? So it looks like we've got some sky going on. Oh, let me get my blending brush. And balmy blue. Let's move our little sheep heads over here. That's really cute. Just a little hint of blue. Takes a little bit of the white away, you know, because that's really bright white. I don't know if you can even, I guess it does kind of show on there, the blue. Does that show? I think it shows. It's just a really light covering of blue. So these are going to kind of go in here, and I don't really care which one we put, yellow or green, it doesn't really matter. But if we want to do trees, you can see it. Okay, cool, Nicole, thank you. If we want to do any trees, so part of this too is some of this is going to get trimmed off because the sheep are up here. I think I want to stamp grass on these feet. Not on the one that's got her feet kicking in the air, though. All right, so now we are going to add some face to some color to the faces, some contour to these faces. So that's why I've got all my alcohol blends here. And then too, we need to decide too if we want bows or bells for our little girls here. So there's the bell or the bows. And then I'll need to get my alcohol blends for those too. But this will probably end up cutting a little bit smaller because that's how the sample shows. And I'll show you the sample when we're done with ours. This I can probably get out of the way. Oh no, because we need that maybe for the stripes, huh? I'm just gonna cut a swatch of this. So that's 5.5. It's probably about 3. We'll hang on to that. All right, so I like to, I don't think I need this. Oh, we need to get our sentiment too. You make me happy, or you're simply fabulous. What do you think? And we're going to end up white embossing that on a piece of Secret C. So you make me happy, or you're simply fabulous. Fabulous. Awesome. Oh, now we got 2. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There's 1. Of course, we could always put 1 inside the card and 1 outside the card. I'm using all my blocks today, so I'm going to put a couple of these on other blocks so I can use the smaller blocks. All right, let's wash these off and get them prepped. Hello, Love and Pieces. Let's see. Suzanne from Arkansas. See, I wrote my note. Welcome. Yes, your night owl friends are here. All right, we'll let that dry. Let me get my Secret C. And it shows a couple of banners. So we could use these. They have double stitching on them. We could use this one and cut it off because that'll just have single stitching, or we could just wing it. So many decisions. Oh, so you were in the balcony, were ya? Hanging out with us? All right, here's my, oh, I don't need Secret C. I need Versamark. All right, wing it. All right, that'll be easier because then I don't have to pull out Little Betsy or Bossy Bessie. All right, so let's get our, we'll go that way. We'll get all of our little goodies. Oh, something just fell. I wonder what that was. All right, a little embossing powder on here, or a little embossing buddy rather. Get rid of the static. And get both of those. And you're simply fabulous. And you make me happy. Let's see if this works for me today. Oh, you probably couldn't even see that. I just dumped it in and then I think we need a little bit more powder. Well, that looks better. All right, let's get this out of the way. And get the tweezers and the heat gun. I need to clean my craft room. It is a disaster. I am not gonna lie. I get it clean when I have a class, usually by scooping and then bringing all the stuff back in. And I swear I'm gonna get it taken care of, and I don't. There's a little piece of lint or something on there. There we go. All right. Let's get the trimmer. We'll see which one tickles our fancy, right? I think that's straight. That one got a little narrower than I anticipated, but it'll be fine. All right, so we can decide which one we like better in a minute. So we have to now decide. I'm thinking the girl jumping is going to have the bell, right? She seems like the wild one. And then the other ones we can have bows. And I'm thinking maybe the strawberry slush for the bows. What do you think? Because that'll kind of tie in the color with those tulips. And then I'm just going to use the light one here. Oh, I'm going to use the bullet tip too. These are really kind of little. And then we'll use the darker one, strawberry slush. Good choice. We use the darker for in the little shadow there. It doesn't probably show a whole lot on the picture, you know, on the video, but it does give some texture to that. All right, so let's go ahead here. I usually use the paintbrush edge, or the tip, but these are so small. Oh, so you made the mistake of trying to reorganize after Christmas or after Thanksgiving. Yeah, it makes me a little crazy too. So I went a little over the edge here. So I'm going to use my color lifter, which I actually think should be called a color pusher, because it basically just pushes the color in whatever direction you're going. And I'm going to do a little bit there too. I think that'll be good. And then the bell, we're going to make her collar, I think, bright pink. And then for the bell, bless it, what? I must have said something that I forgot. All right, and then for the bell, I'm going to I think I'm just going to have to do the bright yellow. Or maybe we'll do Darling Duckling. That's a little duller. We'll just do that with Darling Duckling. It's a little, look a little more brassy. Oh, the craft room issue. Yeah, it's like, you know, you get it clean, it's messed up. You get it clean, it gets messed up. All right, so now let's take our little heads here, and I need to get my very light pink. Because we're gonna give our girls some blush and cheeks. And maybe just a little bit in their little ears. Hopefully oh, maybe I should zoom in a little bit for you to see what I'm doing a little bit better. And I'll move up a little bit. I'm just doing a little bit in their ears. And then we're gonna take and we'll do, oh, I need Granny Apple Green, Balmy Blue, and Daffodil Light. Good thing I've got all the colors. We're just going to give them a little pop of color in their hair. More like they've got hair bows, I guess, is kind of how it looks in the sample. But that's just it. You clean and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, where did I put that? That's why I almost couldn't find my wobbles. All right, so now I'm going to put a little gray around their faces too, and I think I'm going to use, actually I think I'm going to use the light crumb cake because that usually seems like it's a little lighter than some of the gray shades. So this middle one is light gray granite, and this should be smoky slate. Yeah, this is light smoky slate. Look at how dark that is. So that's why I think I'm going to use the crumb cake. And I'm just going to add a little bit of outline around their faces here. Around their ears. Give them their little eyebrows a little lift here. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of, so you keep flip-flopping on the glass mat. I do really like mine. What I wish is that it could have been see-through except for the grid lines, because I would like to have like some of my little posters that I could put under my board so people could see them. Like this one so that I could put it on under my board and it would still shine, you know, still show through. But yeah, I love having my glass mat. The only thing that I don't like is I accidentally used sandpaper on something that I was working on, and I do have scratches from the sandpaper. So you can use your craft knife on it. You can, you know, color on it. I wouldn't suggest using a permanent marker, but like the wipe off markers are fine. I have not tried writing on it with permanent marker, but I do my blending brush coloring sometimes. Working off my glass mat, you can put your re-inker and do your water painting on your glass mat, and it just wipes up so nice. And it comes with like a little silicone mat where you can put your ink spots in it. There's, I think, what, 6? Yeah, mine, yeah, it happens. But the craft knife, when I use a craft knife on here, it didn't do any damage. Sandpaper did a little bit. And I didn't even realize it. It's like, where did that come from? And it took me a while to remember what I did. But yeah, I love it. And the Stampin' Up! One comes with the corners to protect it. That's just for shipping. They'll fall off, so just take them off, okay? So anyway, all right, so I'm going to use my white now, or my color lifter, and I'm just going to blend some of that crumb cake around their faces just so it doesn't look so crazy. Normally I would use a dark and a light of the same shade, but these I can't because I'm using the light crumb cake already. All right, so those are adorable. Can you see those? They're adorable. Yuda, welcome. Those are adorable. All right, so we are going to put the yellow one there, or should we mix up their bows? So that one's definitely going there though, and she's getting the bell. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue. Oh yeah, dry eraser works fine. Sharpie will come off too. I've just never tried with the Sharpie. But the markers comes off, the blends comes off. You might have to use an alcohol wipe to get some of it off, but usually I just clean mine. If there's gunk on here, I use my alcohol little wipes. All right, so she's getting her little bell. And these two gals are getting their little bows. And I'm gonna put the bows, I think, on top because I don't want them to get hidden. And I'm gonna trim just a little bit off of here. So that I can see the bottom of their chin. All right. This set is so cute. And I don't know, Suzanne, if you were listening or watching when I lined up my the stamps on the block, but I created a template with the punch, and then I put the stamps in the template, and then I put the block on that so that they're in the right place for the punch. So if you didn't see that, go back to the beginning and take a look at that, because that's a good technique if you've not done that before. And I guess I need to move up a little bit because I'm still zoomed in. Should I stay zoomed in or take it out a little bit? Where'd the face go? Here we go. And again, I'm just putting these on so that I can still see their chin line, hopefully. And then I'll end up putting dimensionals on there, but I still want them attached. I still want them attached so that I know they're in the right place. All right, so that can go there. And there. And let's put hers on. Yeah, the bell actually has better, a better glue spot. Yeah, I know, after, right? So do we want, I think her head needs to be a little sideways. She is the wild one. And then we can have, do we want the hair color to match their, well, we probably should. Because if they're woolly sheep, you know, right? And then we'll do that one maybe straight up. All right, so these gals I'm gonna glue right on. Well, maybe I should lift them up because this has got a wobble. So this is probably gonna be too thick and I'm probably gonna need extra postage anyway. But I'm gonna take a little bit off the top of this piece because it's a little too long. It's a little too tall. So let's take off maybe not quite half an inch. Half an inch. Let's put this here. Oh, half an inch would probably be okay. I'm gonna go just a little under half inch. We'll go a 1/16 under half an inch. All right, so now these gals, this one's gonna be up in the air. She's gonna be like dancing to her own music. She can be there. And where did the other gal go? Did I lose her? Did she stick to my, oh, she stuck to my, phew, she stuck to my trimmer. So they're gonna go there. I'll put them on bottom dimensionals. So now on the back of her head, I'm going to put 2 dimensionals because I've got 1 dimensional here already. So her head needs a little bit more support. And then I think there's still enough little balmy blue in there because I think it got a little darker there, so I think that'll be okay. So she's going to be in the middle. We can put her there. And I'm going to ground her feet in with the grass because I stamped grass on her feet, remember? Well, this is fun. I love this card. It's very cute. So even though I cased it from the Stampin' Up! Stamp sample, which I'll show you in a minute, we still edited a few things. So we'll do a little vote and we'll see if ours is cuter. All right, and then she's going to be on her little wobble. And we're going to put her, I think, maybe up there. Look at her. Isn't that adorable? I love those. All right, sorry. I get a little wild when there's fun stuff like that. I think she's adorable. All right, so now back to our card base. This is going to go here. this is going to go something like that. I think I might want it narrower though. Oh, that might be cute. And then you're fabulous, or you make me happy. Let's cut this down a little bit because I think I just want it to kind of outline. So let's take a 1/2 inch off of there, it looks like. This card is just so bright and cheery to me. You know. And I think I want to rough up those edges just because the sheep are kind of wild. So let's turn this down a little bit, and then we're going to flag this. Now, I haven't talked about it for a while, but when I do flags freehand like this, just winging it, I will go to the approximate center of the height of my item. I'll snip as far as deep as I want the flags to be, and then I will go from corner to the tip of where I snipped, and then I'll go to the corner to the tip of where I snipped, and then you don't have a lopsided flag. Okay, so here is You Make Me Happy, and I'm just gonna, there's a little rough edge here on there. I got this itty bitty little emery board. Isn't that cute? So we'll just take those edges off, but I think I want to rough these ones up. I like texture. Whoop. That'll be a little added texture. And I'm all right with that. That's fine. How cute is this card? That's adorable. Now, I do think there is some need for like some trees or clouds. So let's, I thought I had another blue body. Didn't I have another blue body somewhere? Maybe I'm just thinking of the one that I, no, because we didn't color. Oh, we did color that one, I think. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this down. And I'm not gluing all the way to the edge where I roughed it up, just because I don't want that to be super flat. And let's just see if I can do this without being too messed up. All right, I think I'm done with my trimmer. I was holding it under my arm, and then that's going to go there. These are so cute. And now you can see why I wasn't too worried about that little miss there, because it's getting covered up anyway. How adorable is this? All right, so we're still to the sentiment here. You make me happy, or you're simply fabulous. I'm almost thinking, well, either way, because she's happy, she's jumping up in the air. You have not have thought to do the stripe piece. Yeah, it doesn't really look that busy to me because so much of it is covered. But you're right, it grounds it, doesn't it? And the sample, I'll show you on the sample what the differences are. There was a more subdued option on the sample. But if you're going to be wild, you know, be bright, be cheery. All right, so let's do this one and just see how it all looks. I hope Stampin' Up! Gets snips again, because their snips were absolutely the best, because the point is so precise all the way to the tip. I love these snips. All right, so you're simply fabulous, or you make me happy. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? I got dust all over here, sorry. You make me happy. All right, so one for happy. I guess we'll put that up on dimensionals. Now, I still wonder what happened to, I thought I had another blue body part. Maybe not. But that doesn't mean we can't make another one. Yuta, it will turn up, right? It's got to turn up. I have a lot of stamps. Look at, this is all we didn't use. Oh, the butterfly. That'll be perfect to take up the space. And I think this is another, this might be the butterfly body. You put the DSP on the, no, no, but I had one that was colored. So this one has the legs, but you're right. That one, I did stamp that one, so you're right. That's probably what I did. But I'm going to make another one just for kicks and see how it looks. So let's get our balmy blue. Whoops. I have a bunch of pairs of snips. I won't say how many, but I use them. I have them out for my classes too. So let's see if we go. That goes like that. Oh, I don't know. I'm just going to have to trim it, I think. And put it on a Post-it note. Oh, of course, I could have just stamped this one and cut off the feet, huh? That might be easier than trying to punch it. All right, so let's see. We've got, I think, where'd that broad piece go? Lumpy, lumpy, lumpy. I don't know what would be easier. Oh, who knows? That's not it either. That might be. I don't think it really matters that much. Yeah, I have one. Oh, that looks horrible. All right, let's do, what do I want to do? let's try to punch this out. Oh, don't lose this. That's a little butterfly. All right. Yeah, I have one in my to-go bag. I have several at my tables. I usually keep 2 at my crafting table. So I have at least half a dozen pair, probably more than that. Here, secrecy. And then I was thinking, let's take a look at this and see how dark it is. Oh, I think I want it dark first. And then maybe stamped off for there. And I would definitely have lost that little butterfly. I know, right? It was close. And we'll do another little butterfly under here. Whew, lucky I didn't mess it up. You can hardly see that one, but when you flicker, you can see it. All right, so now let's go with this little butterfly and do some balmy blue in there on just the one. It is very little. And those are the ones that you have to be really careful not to wash your blocks in the sink, because you could very possibly lose your whole butterfly. I don't think that works there. I'm thinking I don't like that. That's like way too big for the butterfly. The butterfly is just going to go like that. And we're going to do just a couple little dots of color. So that's going back over there, so hopefully I won't lose those. But that's also why I do like a head count of my stamps and dies before I put stuff away, so that I'm sure that I'm not losing anything. Oh, so cute. So, so cute. All right, so we're going to do, what do we decide? Happy? I don't remember what we did decide. Fabulous or happy. I'm almost thinking the smaller one might work better for that space. All right, so and I don't think we need that anymore. I think those butterflies did a nice job. We're just going to scrap that idea. Oh boy, do I have a mess. I missed my garbage can a lot, my recycle bin a lot. And I have a lot of stamps to clean up today. So there's our card. Oh, I need to put this on dimensionals. I think I'm going to use this narrower one just because I think it fits better. All right, dimensionals. There and there. I'm going to put glue here so that it doesn't hang off the edge of my card. And then I'm also going to flip up these edges just a little bit. Come on, there we go. I don't want so much glue that it's oozing out, of course. I love it. So now, what about gems? Our ladybug is way too big. But we do have some cute little faceted ones. Pearlized faceted circles. I think a few of those might work, right? And I just need to slice open the side of my package. Thank you, Suzanne. I think if we use these lighter ones, it'll be good. I have so much stuff to put away today. Whew. And then I'll show you the tails on your sentiment batters are always to the right. Okay, so you're saying your tails would be here, correct? And then you would just have your flat part here? Is that what you mean, Yuta? Like you would have had it like this instead? But like on the card, you would have had it that way? Okay, so here's my rationale. In my OCD head, the flat part needs to be with the flat part. It needs to me, it needs to be grounded. So if I was going to put the sentiment on this side, I would have the flat side here. And I know I'm not in the majority because I see it a lot where the flag is that way, like this. All right. But for me, the flag, in my head, it just has to go with the flat side there. Now the sample that I'm looking at does it exactly like you just said. Okay. So that's going to be one of the differences. Give me just a second to put a few of these little gemmy things on here. We're going to bling this up just a little bit. I don't want to mess with that little butterfly, but maybe I will. That'll bring more attention to that butterfly. All right. She is fabulous. So the other thing that I will probably do is take some of this stripy paper and I will add it in here somehow with my layer. All right. So I will probably take maybe a piece exactly this size, maybe put it on this side and then have my white piece for whatever I want to write in here. That's how I'll finish this. I'll try to do that by tomorrow because then tomorrow I think we'll play with this again because we've been on here almost 2 hours. I had so much fun with this card. It shouldn't take that long, but I love this card. All right, so I'm going to show you the Stampin' Up! Version. Give me just a second here. All right, so here is the Stampin' Up! Version, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And let's move over. Okay, so we've got the same color combination. Excuse me. So we've got the same color combination, not in the same order. We added the DSP for this little wild gal, the wild child. It doesn't look like they colored the bells. There might be some gray in there, but I like ours with the bows and the brighter bell. They did color the little tufts of fur or wool on tops of the heads. They used a different DSP. So they used, it's in here. It looks like, to me, it looks like they used this one. All right, so that's what they used for here. So instead of the striped one, they used the balmy blue piece. I like the brighter color better. That's not for everybody, all right? And then the sentiment, see where they did the flat part to the middle of the card and the flags to the side? Maybe it's because I'm left-handed and that flat needs to be on the right. I don't know. But like I said, if I was going to put a flag on this side, my flag ends would go that way. Oh, thank you, Nicole. So it's collaborative usually, you know? We come up with a lot of good ideas together. Oh, the other thing, we put the tulips on the bottom. So the sheep on the sample, they do have some grass down here. You can see there's some grass. Maybe you can see it, but they did a layer of the grass. That's what I started with. But I really think the tulips help ground the sheep. And I love the butterflies in here. They don't have any butterflies. They don't have any gems. So I like our version better. Just saying. It shouldn't need a custom envelope, but I will put, I don't like naked envelopes. So I think what I will probably do is take that butterfly and wherever I put that butterfly, in fact, let's just do that quick since I'm thinking about it. Thank you, Juju. We're going to put, let's make sure we got the top going up here. I love having extra little things on our envelopes. And then ours is sweeter. You're right. Because we're all so sweet. Well, not always. Just ask my husband. Sometimes I'm kind of bitchy. All right. So the other thing that I like to do is, but being bitchy, I have a story about that. I don't think I've mentioned this one before. Juju, you've listened to a lot of mine, so maybe I did say this before, but when I was going through my cancer diagnosis back in 1997, after one of my biopsies, the surgeon came in and he said, well, it looks like what we talked about. And we had talked about the fact that it was probably going to be cancer. Let me back this up a little bit. And I looked at him and I said, well, quite honestly, only the good die young, and I'm a bitch, so I'm not going anywhere. So that was my fighting spirit to get through my cancer. So, yeah, I can be bitchy. All right, so I'm going to show you what we do here. So I'm going to glue up my envelope. And this is not a new trick either. I know a lot of people do this, so I don't like naked envelopes. And I do use a little bit more glue on my envelope flaps because I don't want them to come off in the processing. But I also put a little piece of Scotch tape, like right on the edges when I seal it. All right. So then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my envelope and I'm going to put it down on the glass mat. And then my other piece is going on the glass mat. So I've lined it up. All right. And then I make sure that it's not coming over the top. All right. So if I can see a little bit of white here, I'm happy because then I'm pretty certain that it's not going to come off in the processing. I've never had anybody tell me their envelope was damaged. It doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but nobody has told me that their envelope has been damaged. All right. So then, of course, we need to cut off this extra. Now, if you just want to cut a strip that's the size of your, that what you need, I usually do 2 1/4 if I'm feeling stingy, or I'll do 2 1/2 by 6. Or, yeah, by 6 to be safe. So 2 1/2 or 2 1/4 by 6, and that'll give you a good size piece for your envelope flap. And then we just fussy cut the edges here. Now there was a die that Stampin' Up! Had that matched the angles of this. I didn't get it. I probably should have. But I didn't. All right, and then this is a good piece that I can put, even inside. So if I'm gonna put a white piece inside, that's my thick. Here we go. We'll do 5 1/2. And if this piece is, let me get my ruler. Tear the top to create a mini hill. Tear here of the yellow for inside the card. So I got 2 1/2-ish. And I think I'm gonna go, no, we're gonna leave it at 2 1/2. because I like how it looks. I like how it looks finished when I have another layer in here, especially if I'm going to put something like this in here. So I'm going to cut this down here. And I'm going to go like this. How did I say about... So if this is about that far, we're going to go there. And I like to have the inside of my card carry over the design of the outside of the card. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut this. And I suppose I could cut that weird angle off of there. Usually when I'm live here, I don't finish the insides of my cards for you ladies or gents or whoever's here. I usually save that for when I'm mailing out the card, but I finish off the insides of my cards as well. So what I want to do here is take my snips and I'm going to rough up this because I want my inside to kind of mirror the outside. And straight down to that extra tear. Just like it. That was unintentional, but it's fine. And it's on the opposite side. So the tear is over here on this one. So the tear will be over here on this one. But here's what I'm going to do. Those are going to go there. All right. And then, whoops. I'll glue this later. Those will go there. And I'm going to put that butterfly on the inside of here as well. Yes, I agree. Sometimes the front does feel real heavy. And the inside needs a little bit more substance. All right, I'm going to wash this off because it got a little gunked. Yeah, and it all goes down to personal preference. You know, some of our kits, the card bases are not as thick either. And I, a lot of times, will add a layer to the inside just so that they're a little bit more substantial. Because Lori doesn't like sending out junk. I'm just kind of funny that way. Which is probably why I don't do a lot of swaps. Because I feel like the swaps are a reflection of how I make my cards. And if I take a shortcut on a swap because I don't want to put so many layers on it, I don't want them to think that's how I make my cards. But it's a lot of extra work and expense when you're doing a swap when you know you're not going to get cards like that back. Does that make sense? So I'm going to bring this little gal in here, I think. And then I think we're going to bring another one over here. And that one's stamped off on purpose. All right. So let me cover up my ink. All right, so here's our envelope. Here's our inside. I will glue that. Hopefully I won't mess it up with any ink on my fingers. But I love it with just the little subtlety of the butterflies. Colleen, welcome. Have you been here the whole time? All right, so there's our envelope. Here's our inside. Here's our outside. And here's our wild child. I love her. The wild child. So there's our card for tonight. It took me long enough, I know. But we are woolly friends. Woolly friends. Oh, there's a song that just popped into my head now. Like woolly, but it's not woolly. What is it? Bully? Woolly? I don't know. Thank you. It is stinking cute, isn't it? I love it. I'm sorry there wasn't a little more collaboration. So I was right. It is Woolly Bully. Julie Black, welcome. You've been sitting in the balcony, apparently. You just couldn't resist the musical interlude, hey? I love it. So I think this card is one of my favorites. Of course, a lot of them are my favorites, but anyway. Thank you, Colleen. And I'm sorry, the picture I think it's not that elongated. I will put a picture of this on my Facebook page too, my Lord's Little Bit of Craftin, so that you have it more in proportion of what it really is. They're short and squatty. They're not tall and fat. So, not the whole time, just part of the time. Well, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. So now I'm going to have Woolly Bully in my head for a little while here. But yeah, I'm gonna do another one tomorrow, or well, later today, actually. So, Woolly friends, if you do something like this, who came up with this? Let me think. Hashtag Team Lori Collabs. If you post something that you've been inspired to make from our sessions here, our get-togethers, our gatherings, tag me with the hashtag. And who was that? It's like on the tip of my... she's not here tonight. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Zippity Doodah. Right. Thank you, Juju. You're right. Zippity Doodah 000 or whatever her numbers are. So thank you. Yes. Whew. That was fun. I love this card. It's very fun. So for those of you who are not on my team, and if you're not on somebody else's team, or you're not a demonstrator, the 30th and the 31st, I am doing a special sale. And actually, if people on my team do this too, I will gift you, anybody that shops from me or yourselves if you're on my team, I will double your Stampin' Up! Rewards. So if you place a purchase the 30th or 31st of December, you will earn, if you do a purchase that's over $20 US, you will earn Stampin' Rewards. I will match the Stampin' Rewards, so you will get double your rewards for your purchase the 30th and 31st. So my year-end special, all right? And on that note, happy crafting, happy shopping. Thanks for joining me for this fun little card. Oh, look at how close all those colors are too. That is so random. Oh my goodness, I didn't even plan that. I did this on Canva earlier today before I even knew what I was going to make. All right, so that was fun. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I appreciate it. Yes, Colleen, it's a shame you're in Australia. Well, yeah, I don't know. There's probably other people that are running sales, but that's what I'm doing in the US. So you could always move over here, I suppose. Maybe. All right. So thank you for joining me, everybody. I appreciate the company. And it was fun. Right? Yeah. Ha ha ha. It's kind of a long way to move. Thank you, Suzanne. Glad you were here. We'll late night again with you later. Good night, everybody. Happy crafting.